This year I had the opportunity to go to the 72nd Cannes Film Festival to see the films in competition for the coveted prize, the Palme d'Or. I was there only for a couple of days, which wasn't enough time to see every single film, but hey, at least I was able to attend the biggest film festival in the world and meet some cool people. I wanted to share my thoughts and first impressions on some of the films I did get a chance to see before they were released into the world. First film in competition I saw was the new Xavier Dolan feature, Matthias Maxime, for which I got an invitation to the biggest theater at the festival, the Grand Theatre Lumiere. I was pretty excited to see the film, knowing it is directed by one of the most prolific young filmmakers working today. Dolan's first film had a premiere at Cannes 10 years ago when he was just 19 years old. From that point onward, his career was filled with ups and downs. Nevertheless, I am excited for each new Dolan film that comes my way, and Matthias Maxime was no exception. This film is about friendships, about love, and what happens when the two unexpectedly collide. What made this film truly stand out were its characters and how real and honest they seemed. Their friendships kept me invested throughout the whole film, and they never seemed fake or forced. The chemistry the characters share is quite electrifying, and they make it really easy to fall in love with them, and not soon after the film starts, you feel like you know them already. Only character in the film which I had a problem with was a girl that sort of kicks the whole story into motion. I know her character was supposed to be a little basic and annoying, but it just came across as awkward and like it didn't quite fit in with the rest of the story. Her character, an obnoxious millennial film student, is making a short and is begging her brother's friends to star in her film. Maxime, played by Dolan himself, politely agrees, and Matthias gets pulled into it after he loses a bet. In this short film, they have to kiss, and that kiss triggers the characters on a journey of self-discovery. At times the film feels like a feature film version of a Coca-Cola commercial or a music video, but that goes for a lot of Dolan's films. His films are very much influenced by early 2000s pop culture, and if that isn't obvious by the color palettes, then his soundtracks really give it away. The story is nothing we haven't seen before, but I really appreciated the subtlety of Dolan's direction in certain scenes. I was thinking the story will be presented in one way, but he managed to subvert some of my expectations. Now, the ending of the film didn't really sit well with some of the people I talked to because it is a little cheesy, and although I see where they're coming from, I love the ending, and I love that it didn't really have a resolution. You are still left to make your own conclusions about what the future of these characters will look like, and I found it endearing and heartbreaking at the same time. It is a sweet and powerful little film that I recommend everyone who's a fan of Dolan sees as soon as it comes out. It is definitely not his best film, but I can see he is returning to some of his roots and is passionate about filmmaking again after his last two films didn't really pan out the way he wanted them to. The next film I saw was Young Ahmed, directed by Belgian duo and two-time Palme d'Or winners Jean-Pierre and Luc Dardenne. At this year's festival they were awarded with a prize for Best Director. I found the film to be competently and responsibly made, like the rest of their films, but overall, I think some of the other films I saw at the competition deserve the prize more. I think I know where the jury is coming from. The story, in the hands of a lesser director, could have been a total misfire, but the Dardenne brothers managed to find an angle that comes from an objective and humanist point of view. The story is quite compelling, thought-provoking, and it reflects today's day and age, which is a true achievement when you consider that it was written and directed by two old men. It never comes across as preachy or as a lecture on how to behave. In line with their other films, I see it as an intense and thoughtful portrait of a character without ever casting judgment. It is a Dardenne brothers film through and through, with long and uninterrupted shots that put focus on the faces of its characters. No soundtrack, no exuberant and over-the-top filmmaking. It is social realism 101. It features some really impressive child acting. The main character is young Ahmed, who after embracing a very extremist and radical interpretation of Quran, removes himself from society and therefore sees it as a threat which should be eradicated. At about 80 minutes, it is a short and straight-to-the-point film about radicalization, manipulation, ideology, and youth in which today's society is quickly becoming ripped apart by the forces they deem to be good. I think this is an important film that should be seen by everyone because it can spark a lot of meaningful and thoughtful discussions and debates. If that is something you find interesting, be sure to check it out whenever it comes your way. I'll be covering the films I saw in chronological order from first to last. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe for more film reviews and video essays that are coming soon. Thanks for watching.